Owen del Temple to kick us off with a benediction.
Such an honor to be here. As people of faith, we ask, how do we cultivate our collective moral voice to fight for justice? Perhaps these words from Rabbi Joshua Lothliebman, a rabbi who served during World War II, can inspire us to rededicate ourselves to the heart center of our moral call, unfolding with each step and sacred act. He said, morality cannot be created by God. It is never a divine gift. It is a human achievement. It is not the child of grace, but of effort. We resent coercion and force. We wish to be responsible agents compelled neither by man nor by God, but persuaded to action by our own insight and counsel. We must pay the price of pain and sorrow if we wish to achieve worth and dignity. No personality is possible in a tyranny, whether it be man-built or God-ruled. Man is a thing, and it in a dictatorship, whether human or divine. The deepest yearning of many, of all of us, is to be a subject, not an object. A person, not a thing. We know too well from our own history and the unfolding present that turning our back on public life out of fear or indifference will only result in deeper moral decay. It is an affront to the bedrock lessons of our faith tradition. Before the plagues of Exodus, Moses had a moment of awakening before the burning bush where God, our source of redemption, called out to him. This required that Moses left his palace of comfort, left the security of what he had become accustomed to open his heart and his soul to the painful realities in his time and the promise of a better future. This was one of many tests of faith, a soul wrestling which Moses would continue to experience as he led his people to an uncertain future. But one thing was for certain for Moses, as it is for us, that we must make our way together. We must make our way together, an interconnected fabric of mutual responsibility bound by the threads of justice and love. Each day is a new opportunity, an opportunity to draw toward each other instead of drawing back. God, strengthen our steps, and may our marching today and our voices and presence be a spark of courage to act in hope for a better tomorrow.
Thank you. Gracias, Victoria. Damas y caballeros, pobremente voy a traducir el mensaje que acabamos de escuchar en inglés. En resumen, nos dice que así como en el tiempo de Moisés, según el relato del Éxodo, él dejó su palacio, él dejó lo cómodo, él dejó su importancia y su riqueza. ¿Por qué? Por su pueblo. Y ahora nosotros tenemos que también salir de nuestras casas, de lo que es nuestro, dejar la F-150 a un lado y caminar las calles como hicieron ustedes el día de hoy, para que juntos estemos como un pueblo de nuevo, porque el que nos da la fuerza es Dios mismo. Ese es el mensaje que compartió el día de hoy. Muchísimas gracias. Ahora tengo el gran placer, no me van a creer, yo conocí a esta niña de jovencita. Ella está acompañada el día de hoy. She is here to do the Pledge of Allegiance. She is the proud daughter of Héctor and Tula Flores. En paz descanse mi hermana Tula, que nos ve desde el cielo el día de hoy. El presidente Héctor Flores, él fue quien me entrenó a mí. Héctor Flores taught me. Now his daughter is here to do the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm going to ask everybody to stand, and I would like you to tell me your name.
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel, what brings...
He's the grandson.
Grandson.
You are the grandson. He's el nieto ahora de Héctor. What's your name?
Victoria Torres.
Eso, el nombre de fuerza. Damas y caballeros, vamos a escuchar, vamos a hacer aquí la presentación.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. I want to recognize now for the national anthem esta señorita Andrea Díaz, Griner Middle School Mariachi Program. Esta jovencita, un gran talento para hacernos su presentación de todo corazón.
Twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare. Spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Singing for us today. ¿Qué es lo que más te conmueve?
I want to bring
Habla fuerte.
I want to bring can't even speak, I'm so nervous. I want to bring I want to bring the community together through our nation and through the song.
Eso. Una comunidad unida, dice ella. Un país fuerte, una nación fuerte. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Mijita, muchas gracias. Damas y caballeros, vamos a presentar a una persona que todos conocen. Yo tuve el privilegio de ver a este hombre. This next man you're about to meet. He stopped the first bus that had on board los niños que se separaron de sus madres. Este señor se puso frente de un camión federal y les dijo, no, por aquí no pasan. You will not come by here. I am so excited to be able to present to you el organizador de la Super Mega Marcha 2025 de Dallas, Texas, el licenciado Domingo García.
Uno, dos, tres. Sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede, sí puede, sí se puede. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can pass immigration reform. Yes, we can. Yes, we can be the best Americans this country has to offer. The Americans who have fought in every war to defend the liberties and the freedom of speech and the freedom of religion for generations of Americans. And let me tell you, this is America. Somos America. And let me send a message to Austin, Texas, and the capital, and a message from the halls here of City of Dallas to the White House in Washington, D.C. We understand that you want to deport the immigrants who are illegal. Go ahead. You want to deport the immigrants that take American jobs. Deport Elon Musk. I know there are immigrants who do the work that Americans don't do. Melania Trump, you have my respect. Mrs. Vance, you have my respect. Immigrants who do what other Americans won't do. Because we are standing up because Americans and immigrants are building America with their hands. Who do you think puts the vegetables on your table? The meat. Who cleans and builds the buildings that we're in today? It's immigrants. And immigrants has always been the lifeblood on America. Today we ask Republicans and Democrats, it's time to stop the fear-mongering. It's time to stop the scare tactics. It's time to bring America together and pass immigration reform today. So pass immigration reform. Pass immigration reform. Pass immigration reform. I know it can be done. Americans have always been able to fight back against the bigots. When there were signs, no Irish apply, no Italians apply, no Jews apply, Americans stood up and said, no, we can have pizza, we can have hot dogs, and you know what? We can have fajitas and margaritas también. It's all the same. And so I stand before you, the son of immigrants, saying, America, let's live up to our premise. When the Statue of Liberty stands tall right here, give me your poor huddled masses yearning to be free. Let's free America again. Vamos a darle la libertad y la justicia a todos los que sus manos están trabajando para hacer este país. Vamos a reconocer la dignidad y el respeto que merece nuestra gente, los que con sus manos están haciendo las cosechas para darle comida a todo el pueblo, que con sus manos están construyendo puentes y carreteras y escuelas y hospitales, que son los inmigrantes, que son la corazón de Estados Unidos, siempre están así. Y Estados Unidos, nosotros no vinimos a ustedes, ustedes vinieron con nosotros, porque aquí estábamos primero. We were here first. We are not immigrants. This is why we have Texas, San Antonio, El Paso, Los Angeles, and the list goes on. So I look forward to working with Republicans and Democrats to pass immigration reform, and let's do unto the least of us what we want unto us to us, because that's what Jesus would want, and I believe that is what we as Americans, Christians, Jews, Muslims, and Hindus must fight as people of faith for a better America and to give the American dream to everybody that deserves it. Muchísimas gracias, que viva la raza, que viva Lula, y que viva América.
Thank you so much, Domingo. Thank you for everything that you have done for our city, for our nation, as a past national president. And I want to invite up next an incredible leader, Roman Palomares, who is the current president of LULAC nationally. He is traveling every single week, advocating for Latinos, for Mexicanos, for our entire community all across this country. Roman served in the United States Marines, is a Vietnam veteran. He was 40 years with the federal government, and we thank you. Yo lo conozco desde high school, so please join us, and thank you. Please give it up for Roman Palomares, LULAC National President.
Buenas tardes, hermanos y hermanas. Good afternoon, my brothers and sisters. Thank you for being with us today. As the national president of the largest Latino civil rights organization in the United States, and as a Marine Corps veteran, thank you for being with us today. To all veterans here today, thank you for your service. Today we marched with pride, with flags waving, not to protest, but to proclaim our rights. Latinos are patriots. Latinos are protectors. Latinos are part of the promise of America. This is our home. Our loyalty is unquestionable. Our pride is unshakable. We believe in America's highest ideals, and we will fight, serve, and build to make sure those ideals apply to every one of our children. But at the same time, look around. Look at the faces of the families standing beside you. The parents who wake up before dawn to provide for their children. The dreamers who have known no home but this one. The workers who build, they feed and sustain this country every single day. We march for the mothers that are afraid to drop their children off at school. For the fathers working 2 jobs, but still living in fear of being taken from their families. We are here today because we refuse to let their voices go unheard. Marchamos por las madres que tienen miedo de llevar a sus hijos a la escuela, por los padres que trabajan 2 empleados y viven con el temor de ser separados de sus familias, por los estudiantes que sueñan en inglés y en español, pero no tienen un futuro claro. Marchamos por los millones que llaman a este país su hogar, pero que todavía son tratados como extraños. We march today for millions who call this country home, but are still treated like strangers. We march because this is our country too, because no human being is illegal, because America is stronger when it embraces those who come here seeking a better life. We march because we carry the hopes and dreams of generations who believed in the promise of this nation, and we will not let that promise be broken. Our stories matter. Our presence in this country matters. For too long, our communities have lived in fear of being separated from their loved ones, fear of losing everything they've worked so hard for, fear of a system that too often turns its backs on them. But today, we stand together to say, ya basta, no more waiting, no more broken promises, no more families being torn apart. We are not invisible, we are not illegal. We are human beings and we deserve dignity and respect. This is our fight. This is our moment, and we will win because we will never stop fighting for what is right. We are here, we belong, and again, we will not stop until justice is real for all of us. Estamos aquí, pertenecemos aquí, y nos vamos para luchando hasta que la justicia sea para todos, real para todos. Sí se puede, sí se pudo, sí se podrá. Que Dios los bendiga a todos. Muchas gracias.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. La organización de LULAC is almost 95 years old and was organized in 1929. So for 95 years, LULAC has fought in the courts and has fought in the communities, from school districts and all across this country. And one of those leaders, a former national president de LULAC, Héctor Flores, the Dilley, Texas, y aquí the Dallas, Texas, has done so much for our community. Héctor Flores, we want to thank you for all of your work. He's a past migrant farm worker. He fought in the Department of Justice for our civil rights and also has done a lot of work in education. So please join me in welcoming Héctor Flores.
Hola, mi gente. Quisiera decir, raza sí, migra no, pero me van a regañar. Pero como quiera, raza sí, migra no. Sabemos que todos llegamos aquí buscando el sueño americano. Desafortunadamente no respetan que estos terrenos eran mexicanos en un entonces. Antes de que hicieron el Tratado de Miguel Hidalgo en 1848, aquí estaban nuestros antepasados. Ellos colonizaron el suroeste, pero no le dan valor a eso, que hemos estado aquí, y por parte de los americanos nativos, nosotros somos el producto de un español normalmente y una persona indígena de esta parte de este continente, pero no respetan eso tampoco. Qué día tan bonito para estar aquí con ustedes. Sabemos que Texas es un estado maravilloso, con una economía de primera, con una población como de 30 millones. Lo que no quieren reconocer es que somos 42% a 46% de la población, nosotros como latinos. Lo que no quieren reconocer es que de 5 millones y medio de estudiantes en las escuelas públicas, 52% a 54% son latinos. Lo que no quieren reconocer es que en el país, en total, somos 62 millones de latinos y casi 42 millones de esos son de descendencia mexicana, como su servidor. Yo soy la cuarta generación de México americano. Yo le tengo mucho cariño y mis abuelitos y bisabuelos y tatarabuelos que llegaron aquí trabajaron muy duro para impulsarme a mí y a mis hermanitos, educarnos y ser algo en este país. Desafortunadamente no respetan esos valores que tenemos como latinos, como mexicanos. Valor de familia, valor de religión, valor de trabajo y valor de ayudarle al otro o al prójimo. Y eso siempre lo hacemos todos los días. It is a beautiful day to be here in this vast Texas sky with the sun of truth shining upon us and the winds of change blowing at our backs. I come to you as a son of a little town of 2,400, a small town with a big heart, where I first learned the meaning of grit, dignity, and family, where I also met my wife in Cotula, named Tula from Cotula, who became my life partner y mi compañera de vida and the love of my journey. She's now watching from above. Together, we raised 3 beautiful kids, one of whom just said the Pledge of Allegiance, and my grandson here. And I appreciate that they're here with me, also a favor de esta lucha. Yo soy un hombre de raíces profundas, tejano, mexicano, americano. I have lived through 8.5 decades of history, not read in books, but felt in my bones. From walking the dusty roads of South Texas to walking the halls of justice in Washington, D.C., I have worn many hats. Law enforcement officer in San Antonio, civil rights advocate in D.C. with the Department of Justice, recruiting for bilingual teachers in the world for the Dallas Independent. Yes, and we even work in corporate suites, in hospitals and labs. In the code of new invention or the flame of a welding torch, you will find us. You will see us, and we're not going anywhere. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. This is the Texas and the America I believe in, where faith walks beside labor, where our culture doesn't clash, they converge, where our children reach for the stars, and sometimes they are designing the rockets to take us there. No tengan miedo, no se rindan, sí se puede, sí se puede. Gracias y los bendigo.
Thank you so much, Hector. And next up, USA. Sí se puede. That's right. Next up, we have el presidente. LULAC. Desde San Antonio, Texas, please join me in welcoming Gabriel Rosales.
Hola, Dallas. My name is Gabriel Yaltequia Rosales. I'm the state director for the League of United Latin American Citizens. And throughout the years, LULAC has been in the fight and in the trenches, in the fight for desegregation, in the fight for equal funding for our schools, in the fight with labor for decent wages. It has been an honor to have walked with the likes of people like Hector Flores and Ramon Palomares, as myself being a plaintiff on the redistricting lawsuit against us, fighting this government to get the representation that we deserve. It has been many years, and I follow and stand on the shoulders of people like my mother, Rosa Rosales, a trailblazer, a fighter for civil rights, a woman that went through 200 single-member district lawsuits empowering Latinos to sit on city councils, to sit on school boards across. The seat at the table that we need and the fight that we have now is at the local community. It is for us to go out there and elect mayors that stand with our undocumented, elect county judges that stand with our undocumented, and it is for us to stand with our children in our public schools to let them know te quiero mucho. It is our community that has been here. I crossed no border. The border crossed me. This land was stolen. And as Mexicanos and as trabajadores, we're here to stand with you. And I want to thank every one of you for showing the courage. I want to thank our elected officials for having the courage, like Mr. Al Green, to stand up to that Trump. And I want to thank my Texas LULACers out there like Lee Sandoval, like Natalia Patricio, that are out there in the trenches. And we've been to Austin. We've been to City Hall steps, and we're going to continue to fight back, stand up on behalf of our people. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Y que viva Rosa Rosales, la campeona. Damas y caballeros, it is my honor now to introduce to you someone you know if you live in Dallas. The leadership of this city must reflect the city that supports it. I want you to now welcome, pero bien calurosamente, a uno de esos líderes de ahora y el mañana, Council Member Adam Basaldúa. He is the Deputy Mayor Pro Tem. Sir, please come up.
Good afternoon, everyone. I stand here today as a proud Latino, as an American, and as someone who believes in the fundamental values that makes this country great: justice, equality, and the unshakable truth that every person has dignity and worth. We march today because we refuse to let fear and hatred define us. We march because the ideals engraved on the Statue of Liberty still matter. Because give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free was not meant to be a hollow promise. It was meant to be the light for all who seek a better life. Yet today the light is flickering. We have reached a moment in history where we people are no longer seen as human beings, but as quotas to be filled, statistics to be manipulated, as scapegoats to be blamed. Families are being torn apart. Children are being left without parents. Good, hardworking people who have only ever wanted a chance at the American dream are being hunted down, not for committing crimes, but for simply existing. This is not about enforcing fair immigration law. This is about cruelty, everyone. This is about leaders who have chosen to build their power by fostering division. This is about an administration that has turned immigration policy into a weapon against the very people who contribute to our communities. to our economy, and to our culture. But we are here today because we refuse to let this be our America. We refuse to let history repeat itself. We refuse to go back to a time where people are demonized because of where they were born or the language that they speak. Today we stand together, Latinos, Black, white, Asian, Native Americans, immigrants, first-generation Americans, allies, because we know that this fight is about more than just immigration. This is about the soul of this nation. It is about defending our Constitution and ensuring that liberty and justice are not just words we recite, but values that we live by. As people of faith, of conscience, of humanity, we must ask ourselves, what type of country do we want to be? Do we want to be a nation that turns its back on the very principles? Or do we want to be a nation that stands tall, that chooses compassion over cruelty, justice over injustice, and unity over division? The answer is clear. We must demand immigration reform that is fair, humane, and just. We must demand that our leaders speak up, act, and stop using fear as a political tool. We must demand a system that recognizes the humanity of every person who seeks a better life in this country. This is our fight. This is our moment, and we will not back down. Victory for America is within reach, but only if you are brave enough to fight for it. Thank you, everyone, for coming out and fighting.
Thank you to Dallas Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Adam Bazaldua. We're so honored and have a special treat desde el Congreso from Houston, Texas, the 9th Congressional District. El Congressman Al Green ha luchado, stood up to President Donald Trump, and he will stand up for us. Please join me in welcoming Al Green, Congressman Green.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am here today because I believe in liberty and justice for all, not just for some. I believe in government of the people, by the people, for the people, not government of the billionaires, by the billionaires, for the billionaires, for the people. And I'm here also because I want the world to know that the United States of America is the United States of America because Latinos have been here to build this country. And as they have built this country, it's important for us to note that they have done it in all capacities. They have been and are lawyers and doctors, and they serve in Congress. But I live today to see the day that there will be a Latino president of the United States of America. And I want the world to know that in this country, we can have unity without uniformity. In this country, you don't have to give up your heritage. You don't have to give up your language. You don't have to give up your culture. You can be an American and maintain your identity. Unity without uniformity. And I'm here to say to the President, Mr. President, we need comprehensive immigration reform. Mr. President, a wall is not comprehensive immigration reform. We need to make sure that those persons that we call dreamers are not only in America, but become citizens of the United States of America. We have to make sure that every Latino child has the opportunity to grow up and have good health care. This is why we must make sure that we protect Medicaid. We must protect Medicare. We also have to protect Social Security because it's not an entitlement. It is an investment that you make, and you're entitled to have your investment. Let's protect Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. I'm also here today to say to each and every one of you, do not live in fear. Do not live in fear. We must unite. We must stand together. I bring you greetings from the Houston NAACP led by Bishop James Dixon. I bring you greetings from the National NAACP. I want you to know that I'm a life member of LULAC. I'm a life member of the NAACP. I want to see the NAACP. I want to see LULAC. I want to see all of our civil rights and human rights organizations unite. I want us to march together. I want us to stand together. Just as I stood in the halls of Congress and told the president he cannot cut Medicaid, we've got to stand together and let the president know that we are united. Will you stand with me? Will you march with me? Will we make America a greater country? Together we will make America a more beautiful America. When I say I like, you say LULAC. I like. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Al Green. Next up, we have Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins. Desde Ebola, y'all remember when we had that issue to COVID, Judge Jenkins has been fighting to bring equity in health care for all Dallas County residents. Please join me in welcoming Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins.
Hey everyone, you look beautiful and you look strong. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here and for exercising your First Amendment right to speak out. And I want to thank Domingo and all the organizers of this march for putting in the long hours to bring us here and to remind us of the words engraved on the Statue of Liberty. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. What we are witnessing now is a stark contrast to these words. Right in front of our eyes, we are seeing immoral and inhumane treatment of our neighbors and friends as well as strangers. Now, when I got here today, I immediately bumped into, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You gonna get that a little bigger? Great, thank you so much. When I got here today, I immediately bumped into a rabbi, a minister, and a Muslim cleric. Because America is a diverse place. You know, 82% of Americans describe themselves as religious, spiritual, or both, with most identifying as Christian. Now, I respect all religions, and I respect the rights of people who have no religion. But a look into the teachings of the Christian religion is instructive to determine what Christianity has to say about the treatment of the stranger, the immigrant, and the refugee, and also about their value. In the Old Testament, we find the book of Ruth, the story of a woman who migrates to a foreign land. We remember Ruth for her commitment to her mother-in-law and for her courage to migrate, to trust Naomi's God and to start a new life among a new people. We also remember this courageous migrant for her descendants, including King David and Jesus of Nazareth. In the New Testament, the gospel story begins with infant Jesus's family fleeing violence as political refugees, pushed around Palestine by an imperial force of Caesar and Herod. The adult Jesus not only characterizes himself as homeless, but stateless. New Testament writers also portray Jesus as a constant recipient of hospitality who sometimes invites himself in. In the present day, Pope Francis reminds Christians of their duty to welcome the stranger. Quote, "Let us concentrate on the words of Jesus. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. I was naked and you clothed me." The Pope continues, "In our time, charitable action regarding foreigners is more relevant than ever. The economic crisis, armed conflicts, and climate change have forced many people to immigrate. However, migration is not a new phenomenon. It is part of history, the history of humanity. It is a lack of historical memory to think that this phenomenon has arisen only in recent years." Francis continues, "At times it seems that the silent work of so many men and women in various ways do all they can to assist the refugees and migrants is obscured by the clamor of others who give voice to an instinctive selfishness. However, closure is not a solution, but instead ends up fostering criminal trafficking. The only path to a solution is through solidarity." Now, Dallas County is a welcoming place that embraces the beautiful mosaic that is you, that embraces our diverse and vibrant community. You and your insights make our community stronger. I want every person to know their rights so they can exercise them, and in doing so, take a small step to protecting the rights of all people in this country. And so I brought you some news that you can use, all right? It is imperative that those who are at risk of deportation action prepare themselves by doing at least the following. Have proof of continuous residence in the country the past 2 years. This could be copies of documents that have your name on them, like tax return documents, medical records, or other leases or bills related to where you live. If you have children born in the U.S., it would be wise to apply for a U.S. passport for your child. There are 2 offices at Dallas County, one downtown and one at our North Dallas Government Center. Both parents must be there, and you must get an appointment. It is also important that you designate a person who is documented to be a possible guardian in case you happen to be separated from your children. If you don't have a trusted family member or friend whom you could designate as a possible guardian, you could also consider getting them a passport from your country of origin. This way, both parents, if they happen to be unavailable in the U.S., the consulate could advocate on behalf of your child so you could be reunited with them. Otherwise, U.S.-born children alone in the U.S. could end up in CPS custody. Again, make sure to get those documents, and that includes red cards, which you can download for yourself if you don't have one at Immigrant Legal Resource Center, which is ilrc.org. That's ilrc.org. And with the registration requirements coming up, it's important to know whether you are subject to them and to gain an understanding of the effects. An immigration lawyer can help with this. There are private attorneys, and there's also RAICES, Catholic Charities, the Mexican American Bar Association that are having seminars so that you'll know your rights. With knowledge, you will be better able to protect yourself and your rights and those of your loved one. As we prepare to celebrate a national holiday honoring Cesar Chavez tomorrow, I want to challenge us with his words. We draw our strength from the very despair in which we have been forced to live. We shall endure. Let us use this moment to draw strength from one another and our communities. May God bless you.
Thank you, Judge Jenkins.
Okay, quick announcement, guys. Go to lulac.org, lulac.org. A ver, I'm going to see cuántas latinas ahorita mismo pueden unirse a LULAC. It's easy, lulac.org. You can do it right there, right now. Join LULAC. A ver, cuántas latinas. We need 1,000 people. Las latinas primero y luego los varones. A ver quién va a ganar. I'll be watching you guys. Adelante, por favor.
Thank you so much. And up next, we have a young leader, salvadoreña, that is the Chief of Staff for Dr. Elba Garcia.
Breaking news, we've got a senator who's about to catch a flight. Senator, come on up, please.
Okay. First, State Senator Royce West, come on up.
Good afternoon. All right, you've had a lot of speakers. This is what I want to say to you. You've allowed me to be your senator in great part for the last 30 years. And I think I'm doing a halfway decent job. What about you? If we're going to make a change, yes, we want to make certain that we elect Hispanics to public office. Yes, we want to make certain we elect African Americans, Anglos, Asians to office. But we need to make certain that we are electing people that have our interests at heart. Just because a person happens to be African American does not mean that they have my interests at heart or your interests at heart. Just because a person happens to be Hispanic doesn't necessarily mean that they have your interests at heart. Hispanics can't stand alone. African Americans can't stand alone. Anglos can't stand alone. We've got to stand together. Let me say that again. We have got to stand together. For far too long, Domingo, we've talked about change. And change has not come because we're divided. We've got to stand together. And so when you have an African American, a Latino, an Anglo, Asian running for office, see whether or not they will work with other people on the issues that are important to us. When we start looking at the issue of immigration, we know that the Hispanic community, without the Hispanic community, we would have no construction industry. Without the Hispanic community, we would not have an hospitality industry. You kind of look at Hispanics in terms of my neighbors. They want the same thing that I want. They want to be able to have security in their homes, raise their family, and have a good job. There's nothing wrong with that. And so we've got to make certain, my friends, as we go from here today, we don't continue to do the same old, that is, have a rally and do nothing. We've got to come together, and in order to have real power, we've got to have voting power. In order to have voting power, we've got to have persons in those offices that have our common interests. And our common interest right now is to have immigration reform. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator West. Okay, up next we have the Chief of Staff for Dr. Elba Garcia. And Dr. Elba Garcia has been amazing. Era una de las primeras Latinas who paved the way so that other Latinas could run for office. So let's give it up for Dr. Elba Garcia and invite her Chief of Staff, Jasmine Flores, para hablar.
Gracias. Muy buenas tardes, mi gente. ¿Cómo están? Mi nombre es Jasmine Flores y estoy orgullosamente aquí gracias a la comisionada, la doctora Elba García. Yo soy primera generación salvadoreña americana. Estamos aquí nosotros hoy porque vamos a demandar una reforma migratoria. Ya es tiempo y ya basta de que no nos vean el valor que nosotros contribuimos a este país. Yo me crié viendo a mi mami. Ella era costurera, ella limpiaba casas, ella cuidaba a niños, cuidaba a la gente mayor, hacía lo que necesitaba hacer para que nosotros pudiéramos sobrevivir. Igual vi a mis tíos trabajando en construcción por más de 12 horas al día, llegando a la casa con una sonrisa, con ese espíritu que nosotros tenemos por nuestra cultura. Ellos no nos pueden quebrar y nosotros no podemos dejar de que por temor o por las cosas que nos dicen, que nos vayamos a seguir escondiendo. Necesitamos levantarnos
Necesitamos decirles y enseñarles a ellos, los que podemos votar, si no están registrados ahorita, regístrense por favor. Aquí hay organizaciones ahorita mismo que pueden ayudarles a registrarse a votar. Hay elecciones municipales el mes que viene. El 3 de abril es el último día para registrarse para votar en esas elecciones. Nuestro poder es muy grande. Igual monetariamente nosotros tenemos mucho dinero que gastamos aquí y ellos tienen que valorar eso. Pero igual nuestro poder de votante tiene mucho potencial. Solo que nosotros tenemos que verlo en nosotros mismos y nosotros tenemos que registrarnos y seguir votando, no solo en una elección, pero en todas las elecciones, para que ellos no puedan decir que nosotros no votamos y que no importa nuestros derechos. Es para nosotros hacerles saber qué importantes somos. Ahorita estamos aquí demandando esa reforma migratoria. Vamos a demandar que nos den la dignidad, que nos den el respeto que nos merecemos, porque nosotros valemos mucho. Y les agradezco tanto de que tomaron su domingo, este domingo tan lindo que tenemos este día, para estar aquí, para marchar con nosotros y para enseñar qué bellos somos nosotros los americanos. Muchas gracias. ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede!
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you for your attention for this next speaker. Pasó algo con una niña y quiero que tomemos conciencia de lo que le pasó a esta niña. Ella era Jocelyn. Ella vivía en Gainesville con su familia y fue víctima de algo muy triste. This young girl was the victim of something horrible at her school. I'm going to ask my daughter Alejandra to accompany her mother, who is here. Por favor, pase, señora. Vamos a escuchar de Maribela Carranza. Put the microphone, please. Ella es la mamá de Jocelyn, que ahora no está con nosotros, pero en espíritu vive con nosotros en nuestro corazón. Señora, ¿qué le quiere decir usted al pueblo?
Buenas tardes. Estoy aquí apoyando a la comunidad. Nunca he venido a una marcha, pero creo que es importante, sobre todo por lo que pasó, sobre todo por lo que pasó con mi hija. Creo que es importante que luchemos por esta causa y es por eso que hoy me uno a esta causa, porque creo que todos merecemos una reforma migratoria. Es triste recordar a mi hija, sobre todo en la manera que pasaron las cosas. Solo pido a la comunidad que sigamos luchando, sigamos unidos por esta causa y que la muerte de mi hija no sea en vano.
Estamos rezando por Jocelyn Carranza y sabemos que no estamos aquí solamente para marchar, pero para cambiar las leyes for little girls like Jocelyn. So thank you so much to her mother for being here. And those real fights about our community are happening right now in the Texas House of Representatives. And I want to invite a fighter, she's okay with me saying this, a chingona. Representative Ana Maria Rodriguez Ramos is the chair of the Texas Progressive Caucus, has been fighting for education, has been fighting back against attacks on diversity. I know because I served with her I served for 8 years in the Texas House, and these past 6 years, she has done everything that she could and is going to continue to fight back. So please join me in welcoming State Representative Ana Maria Rodriguez Ramos.
Buenas tardes. Thank you to Victoria, to all the organizers here. Muchas gracias. Buenas tardes y gracias por ustedes, por estar aquí con nosotros y realmente como todos aquí estamos arriesgando nuestra libertad. Sabemos que estamos entrando en una etapa en este país donde nos despertamos en la mañana, miedo de ir al trabajo, miedo a llevar nuestros hijos a las escuelas. Pero todos estamos aquí porque queremos contribuir a este país tan lindo. Estamos aquí porque queremos libertad. ¿Qué queremos? Libertad. Libertad para educarnos. Libertad para educar a nuestros hijos. ¿Qué queremos? Libertad. Libertad para trabajar, salir adelante, elevar a nuestras familias. No estamos pidiendo más que libertad. Libertad para vivir, para disfrutar a nuestras familias. Libertad para vivir con alegría, para seguir el sueño de los fundadores de este país, porque nosotros también somos parte de esa fundación de este país tan lindo, que nos ha dado tanto, pero también nosotros hemos contribuido mucho a este país para seguir elevando a este país. Mi gente, con esta administración nueva, tenemos otra oportunidad en 2 años para cambiar esta administración extremo. Pero esto se va a tener que tomar parte de todos nosotros. Todos vamos a tener que contribuir. Si tienen familiares que pueden seguir adelante y meter la aplicación de ciudadanía, háganlo. Si tienen amigos o hijos que son ciudadanos, regístrenlos para votar. Tenemos también derechos y tenemos que seguir luchando. ¿Qué queremos? Libertad. También les quiero decir parte de lo que habló el señor Clay Jenkins, las tarjetas rojas que habla de los derechos de uno si nos detienen alguno de nosotros. Estas cartas, y gracias a mi hermana que los va a estar distribuyendo, habla de los derechos que tenemos uno cuando si al caso nos detienen. Seguimos luchando, seguimos adelante y como dijo la mamá de Jocelyn, que la vida de ella no sea, la memoria de ella no sea en vano. Seguimos luchando, seguimos peleando por nuestra libertad y seguimos elevando a este país porque todos somos más americanos. Como dijeron nuestros compadres, los tigres, somos más americanos y seguimos luchando. Muchas gracias. Buenas tardes.
Thank you. Damas y caballeros, hay una palabra, there's a word in our culture. Home, en español puede ser hogar o casa. Ahora les traigo el líder de casa aquí en Dallas, Texas, el señor José Flores. José Flores, come on up from casa.
Bien, buenas tardes, compañeros. Gracias a la gente que se tomó la libertad de venir esta tarde a esta manifestación pacífica. Gracias. Y yo siempre comienzo diciéndoles que bienvenidos a su casa. Ustedes recuerdan, la comunidad migrante sin duda construimos esta plaza y estos edificios con nuestras manos y con nuestra sangre, ¿no es así? La comunidad de Zacatecas y la comunidad de Chihuahua, la de Tamaulipas, la de Monterrey y la de San Luis y la de Guanajuato, todos ellos son gente inmigrante que lucha y que aporta a la grandeza de este país. Esta reunión importante es para manifestar que estamos en contra de las políticas antiinmigrantes, pero también para manifestar que estamos aquí presentes para reclamar nuestros derechos. Esta plaza la construimos nosotros, por lo tanto estamos en casa. Fíjense que cada año, cada cambio de gobernantes empiezan a agarrarnos como piñata, empiezan a atacar a la comunidad inmigrante, como si no tuvieran otro pretexto. Pero están equivocados porque los migrantes, del solo hecho de ser migrantes, hispanos, latinos, ya somos grandes, no nos pueden hacer nada. La mayoría de nosotros somos orgullosos de nuestras raíces y de nuestro trabajo. Todos somos provenientes directos de reyes españoles, de príncipe azteca, de emperador maya, y todos estamos orgullosos de nuestra raza. Por eso no nos puede obligar ningún ataque. Ahora el gobierno tiene el pretexto de sacar una lista. Quieren sacar una lista de la comunidad, quieren que nos amotemos. El día de hoy, si ellos hubieran venido, pueden sacar una lista de todos los que estamos aquí, porque aquí está la comunidad inmigrante. A ver, los de la construcción están aquí. Las señoras que cuidan casa también están aquí. La gente que corta yardas también está aquí. Los de la construcción, los que construyen carreteras, la gente que construye los edificios, todos estamos aquí, por supuesto. También dijeron que van a revisar al departamento del IRS. Qué bueno, porque lo primero que van a ver cuando lleguen ahí son los más de 800,000 millones de dólares que la comunidad ilegal inmigrante aporta al IRS. Y para eso estamos aquí, para construir esta grandeza, porque venimos de un lugar grande a aportar algo grande. Este lugar es un lugar de historia. Este lugar era un lugar de hispanos donde podía uno caminar libre entre los apaches y entre los comanches, y no había leyes, cualquiera podía transitar. Hasta que llegaron los anglosajones y pusieron las reglas, y la primera regla fue corrernos a nosotros. Pero este lugar bendito siempre ha sido un lugar de lucha y de libertad, de tal manera que, por ejemplo, la comunidad afroamericana que vivía en Luisiana solo podía correr aquí, y cuando era México ya eran libres. ¿Ustedes recuerdan eso? Muy bien, por último quiero decirles que tengamos presente que nosotros somos grandes, somos luchadores. Tenemos que hablar con nuestros hijos, con nuestros compañeros, con la gente de la escuela, del trabajo, para decirles que aquí estamos y no nos vamos. Último mensaje. Uno no puede elegir dónde nacer, eso es claro, uno no puede elegir dónde nacer, pero sí puede elegir dónde trabajar, luchar y dejar su sangre y morir por un buen trabajo. Gracias.
Gracias, muchísimas gracias. And now we're going to invite up the CEO and President of the Regional Hispanic Contractors Association, Mr. John Martinez.
Thank you. My name is John Martinez. I represent the men and women who work in our Texas heat, who aren't always blessed with this breeze that we have today. And what really surprised me today about how many people told me, don't come. Aren't you afraid? Aren't you nervous? What happens if something happens there? And I said, you know what? I'm almost 60 years old. If the young people like you and everyone here that can be here, John Martinez can come and represent those men and women who build our world. President Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Each one of you stood up today without being asked. You are the brave ones. You represent everyone who couldn't come. I love studying history, and I always wondered, when bad things happen, what did normal people do? What did the average worker do? And you know what? Unfortunately, I've lived long enough to find out what they do. Some people continue to go to work. Some people paid their taxes and their bills. Some people still had parties. But you, ladies and gentlemen, you stood up for everyone that couldn't come here today. And for that, I am proud to be one of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have interfaith activist Ms. Zulika Hussein.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zulika Hussein. I'm a proud American Muslim and interfaith activist and a Texan. Thank you all for being here today. Immigration has always been the backbone of this nation, shaping America through the hard work, innovation, dedication of those who came here seeking a better life. Muslim immigrants, like so many others, have played a pivotal role in building this country. Steve Jobs, the son of a Syrian immigrant, transformed the world with his invention of the iPhone. A Turkish Muslim couple developed the COVID-19 vaccine, saving millions of lives. And every day, Muslim Americans serve as doctors, teachers, scientists, police officers, firefighters, business owners, and volunteers, contributing to the very fabric of this nation. nation. Muslim immigrants strengthen our communities from healthcare and education to public safety and entrepreneurship. Muslim-owned business fuel the economy, and each year, Muslims donate over $1 billion to charity, supporting those in need across all communities. Recently, as you all may have said and heard in the news, the United Arab Emirates, a Muslim-majority country, pledged over $1 trillion of investments in America. These contributions prove what we already know. Immigrants don't take from America, they build America. Yet, today, we face a crisis. Immigration reform is necessary, but inhumane treatment is not the answer. Refugees, asylum seekers, international students, and DACA recipients are not criminals. They are future doctors, engineers, and leaders who love this country and want to give back. America's greatness has never come from shutting people out, but from welcoming those who believe in these ideals. Fear-mongering and division are not the answer. This nation was built on hope, not hatred, on opportunity, not exclusion. If we abandon that hope, we betray the very ideals our founding fathers fought for and our soldiers died to protect. Without a just path forward, we risk erasing the American dream, not just for immigrants, but for all of us. Today, in Dallas, we stand together, not just for immigration reform alone, but for the future of our country. This is about the values we cherish and the principles that make America a beacon of hope. We must uphold the promise of opportunity, innovation, and justice for all, ensuring our nation remains true to its founding ideals. Together, we are stronger. Together, we build a future where justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Zulika Hussein. When they try to divide us, we need to unite. So next up, we're going to invite Minister Dominique Alexander, President of the Next Generation Action Network.
No justice? No justice? When I say cease, you say pray. Cease. Cease. Hello, y'all. I'm Minister Dominique Alexander, President of the Next Generation Action Network. And I'm going to be very quick but real direct to what we are dealing with right now in America. To my brown and black brothers and sisters, we are here together. I stand before you today as the president of the Next Generation Action Network. But more than that, I stand before you as a black man that has spent the last decade on the front lines fighting for justice. And I want you to know today that we stand in solidarity, not just by words, but actions. We are gathered here because our communities are under attack, not just for bad policies, but from white nationalism, racism, and dangerous rise of the Trump era and hate that seeks to divide us and destroy us. Let it be clear, this isn't just a Latino issue. It isn't just a black issue. It is a human rights issue. When families are ripped apart, when undocumented people are hunted down like criminals, when refugees are treated like threats instead of people, we all together should be outraged. But what is worse is when we continue to believe that we are different, that somehow, if we are coming for them, they are coming for us. That is a colonialized lie. Black people, Latino people, we are the backbone of this country. Our labor built it. Our culture shaped it. Our faith sustained us. Our voice must now lead. Let me say this, that the system that cages children are the same one that over-policy our communities. They're the system that deport dreamers. It's the same that deny us the dream. We are not the enemies. We are not the competitors. We are family in the struggle. So when Trump and his administration tries to divide us with hate and fear, we are the answer to unity and love. We must stand together to say enough is enough. To stay, hate will not bring us down. Hate will be the thing that unites us. And we will stand on the shoulders of our ancestors because they did not die in vain. We will stand in the spirit of Cesar Chavez. We will stand in the spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King. We will not allow them to rewrite history. We will not allow their hate to destroy our homes. Today, we unite like never before to say justice for all and not just one.
Thank you so much. Now we want to invite somebody who is known to be a troublemaker, who has been fighting for civil rights for all of us, Reverend Peter Johnson.
First and foremost, thank God for allowing all of us to be here today to make a stand against injustice and insanity. And I want to thank my friend Domingo Garcia for being stubborn enough, crazy enough, and bold enough to bring us together to say hell no to Donald Trump. You know, this is not America's first time tearing families apart. Sending the daddy to Mississippi, the mama to Alabama, and dividing the children's up. So you want to know why black people are so crazy? They tore our families apart. We don't know who we kin to because of what slavery done to us. Because of our history, we have a sacred responsibility to join hands with you all to say to Donald Trump and to America, leave brown people alone. Leave families alone. Stop sending mamas to Mexico and letting little girls stay here. Y'all got to be goddamn crazy. Stop doing this to people who ain't got nothing. They came here to try to make a living. Black people and brown people, white America, we build America.
And finally, we have Dallas ISD trustee Maxie Johnson.
I serve a community that is very diverse, black and brown. 72% of our children in Dallas ISD are Latino. And I want our parents to know that we will continue to protect our Latino community in Dallas ISD. We are dealing with an administration that want to get rid of black history, that want to get rid of Hispanic history, and you can't have American history without black history or Hispanic history. We support immigration reform. We're going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to stand. No justice. Come on, no justice. We're going to stand and fight this administration and stand with our black and brown communities.
Go to LULAC.org, LULAC.org. We have a lot of Latinas. Ahora, let's see if the guys are going to join LULAC.org. You can do it right now from where you are. Okay, adelante, Victoria.
And before we close this out, we're going to have a pastor, a bishop, science, from Bishop United Methodist Church to do our closing benediction.
Buenas tardes. Es un placer estar con ustedes en esta tarde. Yo soy Rubén Sainz, soy el obispo de la Conferencia Horizonte de Texas de la Iglesia Metodista Unida. Y ha sido un gozo caminar con ustedes en esta tarde para levantar nuestras voces y decir que a nosotros no nos pueden desborrar porque los ojos de Dios somos iguales y somos hijos e hijas de Dios. Mientras el sol comienza a ponerse sobre esta gran ciudad de Dallas, estamos aquí juntos, hombro a hombro, como un testimonio vivo del poder de la unidad y la esperanza. Hoy marchamos no solo como individuos, sino como una voz colectiva por la justicia, la dignidad y la igualdad. Somos un tapiz de diversidad. We are a tapestry of diversity. Diferentes razas, etnias, idiomas y estilos de vidas, unidos por una creencia compartida de que cada ser humano merece respeto y oportunidades. We're a diverse tapestry made up of people of different races, ethnicities, languages, and styles of living, united by the belief that we all share a common goal and a common desire that we all be treated with respect and opportunity. Nuestros pasos a este lugar resuenan con las luchas a quienes vinieron antes de nosotros y llevaron los sueños de quienes vendrán después. Juntos mostraremos al mundo que nuestras diferencias no son barreras, sino son puentes que nos conectan a nuestra humanidad común y nuestro compromiso inquebrantable con un futuro más brillante para todos. Oremos, let us pray. Dios Todopoderoso, Creador de todos los pueblos y culturas, hoy venimos ante ti con corazones llenos de esperanza y almas clamando por justicia. Te damos gracias por el don de la vida y por la diversidad que enriquece nuestra nación. Reconocemos que todos somos tus hijos, creados con dignidad y valor sin importar nuestro origen o estatus legal. Te pedimos que nos guíes para ver a cada persona como un reflejo de tu amor y tratarla con la misma compasión que Jesús nos enseñó. Anímanos con tu espíritu a comprometernos a defender los derechos de los migrantes, oponernos a políticas que separan familias y apoyar una reforma migratoria justa y humana. Que nuestras acciones reflejen el amor radical de Cristo y que nuestra unidad sea la luz que ilumine el camino hacia un futuro más justo. Señor, ayúdanos a ser manos que ayudan, corazones que acogen y voces que defienden a los más vulnerables entre nosotros. Que nuestra fe se traduzca en acciones que promuevan justicia e igualdad para todos. En espíritu de unidad, justicia y amor divino oramos juntos. Sí se